Before we get started, I just want to say to my friends who have not watched Endgame yet, don't worry, there will be no spoilers in this video. I got spoiled for Endgame and I'm not going to let you guys be spoiled, so don't worry, no Endgame spoilers here. Hello everybody, my name is Ivy and welcome back to Playing with Ivy, where today we are going to be starting something new on the channel. My Make Bad Art series. Now, I already got criticism from my mom about this title of the series, Make Bad Art, but it kind of goes with the non-perfectionist theme that I have for this year. So if you saw my vision board video, if you haven't seen my vision board video at this point, please go watch it. I worked really hard on that video and I think my vision board turned out really cute. But part of my vision board is my content section, trying to get it all in, and one of the things in my content section is art. And so I have this little quote thing on here that I found on Pinterest, make genuine art, make smart art, stupid art, abstract art, honest art, joking art, art that looks good, art that is easy, art that is immaterial, art that is mysterious, joking art, black and white art, just making art in general. That's something that I want to do this year, and I think I want to make some Avengers art. And I got inspired to really do this whole series because of this book that I read. And the book is Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon, I don't know how to say his last name, but I love his books. I have the other 3 books that he wrote that are kind of like this one, and I'm obsessed with this book. It kind of got me out of a creative funk, because this book mostly talks about how to get inspiration for creating art and how to find your own art style and things like that. And I love the way that it's drawn out with little pictures and stuff in it. And something that he talks about a lot in this book is making art that you like, making art that you're inspired by, and finding the artists that inspire you and make it into your own art style. And so it's literally one of the things, start copying. A title of the whole section of the book is Use Your Hands, and it's just talking about things about how to make art and how to not be afraid to be creative, really. And I really love this book for that. So if you are a creative who's really stuck on what to create, highly recommend getting this book, because it helped me so much. I think it could help you too. But I just wanted to do this series because sometimes I get stuck and I don't want to create anything. I've been putting off making this video for a week or two, just because I was just what if it doesn't turn out great? What if it doesn't turn out perfect? And that's the whole point of the series, is that I'm making bad art. I'm not a trained artist. I'm not gonna make perfect art Draw with Jazza or anything that's going to end up in the Louvre or something. But the point of the series is to make something, and it doesn't matter if it turns out perfect or not. It just matters that you made it, and that's what I want to inspire other artists to do. Just make something. Don't be afraid that you are not making something that's going to be sold to somebody else, or something that's going to be jumpstarting your career. Just make something, and then the spectacular art will come after. And so that's what I'm doing right now with Avengers art, and this is the basic challenge. So the point of the bad art challenge is to make art. If it's great, that's a good thing, but if it's bad, it's okay. Just make some art. The rules of this challenge are to fill 5 pages of your sketchbook. I have so many sketchbooks left over from art classes with art. Just anything you want. You can put a theme to it, like I'm doing. All these pictures that you're going to see today are Avengers theme, or you can make art based on your favorite songs, art based on your favorite movies, art based on your favorite actors, on your favorite art styles, whatever you want. Just make 5 pieces based on 5 different things. That's what I'm going to be doing today. And then to add to the challenge, use 5 different mediums. So today I'm going to be using markers, colored pencils, watercolor, fine liner pens, and crayons. So not all of these art supplies are super sophisticated, but that's the point. You're not trying to make something that is noteworthy. You're just trying to make some notes on what you like and what you don't. So today I'm going to be doing that with these 5 materials with some Avenger theme art. So let's get started. Okay, so for this first art piece, I wanted to do Spider-Man with crayons, because I feel crayons are the least intimidating art supplies to work with, just because we've all used them when we were kids. And I wanted this spectrum to go from least intimidating art supplies to most intimidating art supplies. because watercolor is very intimidating to me, so we'll get to that later. But I also want to do crayons for Spider-Man because I feel like Spider-Man is one of those characters that you hear when you're a little kid, and so it would be the one that you would draw when you're a little kid the most. So I want to start off with Spider-Man with crayons, and honestly, I think this one turned out pretty good. Like, obviously, not noteworthy, but for what I was doing, it's not that bad. I did pull up a reference image on Pinterest just so I could make sure that I was getting like the webbing in right and like the general design right, but most of it is just like freehand and stuff. And I love the color scheme for Spider-Man. Very simple, red and black, so easy. And drawing the webs on him was so easy because it's just like lines, a whole bunch of lines. And I was just like, I had a lot of fun doing this. That's the whole point of this thing. I was just having fun doing it, and I just loved it. And then I add like the black outline around Spider-Man just to define him from like the little background that I drew with a whole bunch of scribbles. And I think it turned out really good. So yeah, this was a lot of fun.
I try to keep it low, who you are to me, and I will hold you down, even if it kills me, even if it kills me. I will hold you down, even if it kills me.
Okay, so the next one I wanted to do was Captain America with Crayola markers. These are Crayola Super Tips that I got at like the dollar store a long time ago, and they have pretty good saturation. And I wanted to use these to draw like a picture of Cap's shield leaning against like a park bench, like kind of almost like it's on like the Washington Monument, near the Washington Monument during like Winter Soldier, like the thing that they're running past, and then it's next to like a forest, and yeah, it turned out pretty good. I did pull up a reference image for the shield itself just so I got like the bands right in the right colors, but the background I just scribbled and that's fun, and it was just fun to like make some fake texture in the background. I did like using like different colors to like bring some more depth to the background, and I actually really like the grass strokes that I did because I used like 3 or 4 different colors of green for the grass, and I just did a whole bunch of strokes, and I think it made a good grass-like texture, and this one's pretty solid, and again, not intimidating, just a whole bunch of fun. I just scribbled and had fun with it.
Ring without a stone, a novelty. We left it to be told in photography. I try to keep it low, who you are to me.
Okay, so next I did Black Panther using fine liner pens. I did end up using some gel pens just so I could like make more detail, but for the most part I used fine liners for this piece, and honestly the Black Panther head did not turn out the way that I wanted it to. I thought it would turn out like more bigger. I made it too small, but it's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I think it looks pretty okay. It looks pretty okay. I did add the silver just because I had first drawn the little details in like fine liner, and then I realized that they didn't stand out against the rest of the black that was on his mask. So I just used the gel pens to add more detail to that. But for this piece, I mostly focused on the background because that's why I wanted to do it in the first place. Recently, I've been doing a lot of doodle art, and I'm loving it because it's just like draw some squares, fill in the squares with whatever you want, and it's a lot of fun. I took a Skillshare course on it on Skillshare. This video is not sponsored. I just like Skillshare, and I watched some doodle classes, and basically it just gave me a guideline of what things I can draw and stuff, and I had a lot of fun filling this out. I actually spent like half an hour doing this, and it was actually really relaxing. I just listened to music and scribbled and drew stars, drew lines. It was just a lot of fun for me. And that's the whole point. Art is supposed to be fun. And I just had a lot of fun doing the background for this piece, and I'm so happy with how the background turned out, because it kind of reminds me of like mudcloth in African cultures. Mudcloth has a lot of different textures and designs and patterns to it, and so I kind of want to emulate that with the background, and I think it's pretty well represented. So good job, Ivy, good job. Okay, so next up I did Baby Groot dancing with colored pencils. Colored pencils are kind of tricky because of the blending techniques. I didn't focus on blending with this art, I just focused on making like a grainy texture. And I think that colored pencils are perfect for that just because of their texture. And it was just so much fun drawing Baby Groot. Baby Groot is literally the best Guardian ever. I was so happy in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 where it was just Baby Groot. And Baby Groot is so much better than adult Groot because Baby Groot is just like adorable. And he's still like Groot at the end of the day. And now we got teenage Groot, and just seeing Groot in all stages of life is really fun. Yeah, I love those little dance breaks that he does where he thinks Drax isn't looking. And then he's just like dancing in the background. So I wanted to make him dancing in this video, in this picture. And it looks like he's doing like a little jig. And it's fun. It was a lot of fun to make. And the final artwork that I did was Captain Marvel in watercolor paints. Like I said earlier, watercolor paints are kind of the most intimidating one for me, just because with the other ones it's a little bit more straightforward. Like with crayons, there's no like blending, it's just like just color or anything. Markers, maybe you blend, maybe you don't, but just color. Fine liners, super easy, just draw some straight lines if you can. Color pencils, yeah, there may be some blending to them or something, but in the end of the day, it makes a great texture. But watercolors, it's just because there are so many techniques to watercolors. Like I've watched a whole bunch of videos on watercolors, that's why I don't look super bad in this video, but I definitely can improve, and I'm still working on getting comfortable with this kit that I have, because I haven't had too much practice with it. And honestly, with watercolor you do need practice, just because if you want to get like a cleaner look, then that takes more work than if you're just like when you were a little kid and you just like did a whole wash of stuff on the page. If you want like to make an actual image, you gotta make it cleaner. But at the end of the day, I think it turned out pretty okay. I decided to go like faceless for Captain Marvel just because, one, I did not want to do face details in watercolor because I barely can do watercolor as it is. But also, it kind of reminds me of some other styles I've seen of artworks that I've seen on like Pinterest, where sometimes, like one specifically that I like is like this Disney villains one, and so it's just like the Disney princesses with their villains behind them, And then the Disney villains and the princesses are faceless, and I kind of like the clean style of that. So I tried to emulate that with Captain Marvel, and I did do a second wash of color after the first one because like I basically just like made a baseline. Like I started with the gray just to like sketch, and then I add color just to like block out the color, and then I add a second wash on top of the color just to like saturate it more, and I think that turned out super good, much better than I expected. And I wanted to draw her in like the orange in the background just because I want to be like her fiery like energy behind her. It didn't turn out perfectly, but that's fine because it's bad art, so it's fine. And at the end of the day, I do kind of really like the way it turned out, and it's practice. I'm going to get better with watercolor the more I practice with it. So just a quick flip through of all the art that I made. Here's Spider-Man in crayon, Captain America in marker, Black Panther in fine liner pens, Baby Groot in color pencil, and Captain Marvel in watercolor. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, give a huge thumbs up and tell me in a comment down below what you like about this video, and tell me if you want me to continue this series, because honestly this is so much fun for me. I love making stuff, and this just gives me an opportunity to make more of it. And comment down below what you think another theme of my artwork should be. Should I do like DC? Should I do songs? Should I do book characters? What do you think I should do next? Tell me in a comment down below. And tell me what you guys will do when you take on this challenge, because I'm telling you, it's a great way to get out of your creative rut and just make something. And that's going to be it for this video. And until next time, this has been Ivy. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I see you in my next video. Bye!